went live. This is take 2. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this will work, but before I go on here, we will see and start getting into everything. Let's see if my peeps kind of came over. Good morning. I'm going to go also check on my TV. Good morning. How's this? Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Hear you now. Great. I don't know what it was. Must have been some kind of YouTube glitch. There's all kinds of glitches. So I'm glad you could hear me. So we'll start from scratch. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Hello to Melanie and Eva and Marlene and Lori. Sorry, this take 2 sometimes, you know, it works. So we are working on a gift that was given to me by Krampus, and it was the 10-inch quilt book by Carolina Moore. And then I went ahead and I bought the cake cutter ruler by Carolina Moore. I happened to get this at Soft Squares. I'm sure there's many people out there, but this is where I got this one. This one came from Soft Squares. I know she has them on her store as well. Hello, Amy and Maria. And so I got this book and a lot of 10-inch stackers, whatever, you know, everybody has their own name for this. Hi, Helen. This one happens to be Old School by J. Wecker Frisch. So we're going to go with it. So if you have this book on page 60, and yes, I am still doing the the showstopper from Fabric Cafe. I know I haven't uploaded a blog because I cut it out, but I haven't made the video this weekend. I really wasn't feeling my best, so I was taking care of myself. Good morning, Evelyn. So on page 60, it's called Half Rail Fence. Okay, and it says what you will need on there. This is really a beginner quilting book, really great for charity quilting because it's just basic and it kind of builds up on principles of quilting. So if you're truly new, this book really breaks it down into using a quick pre-cut. Just saying, I know pre-cuts are expensive, so you could cut your own. Good morning, Donna and Andrea. And so Carolina Moore actually did a tutorial on this. So guess what? I linked it down below. Now, this is not my book, so this is not my pattern. I can't give it out. They are very basic patterns, and because it's not my book and not my pattern, I don't have permission. I didn't call her and say, hey, I'm making a video. Can I use the measurements like you did? I cannot give you that. But, oh, Andrew has the book and ruler. But you can go down to this video that I had linked below, which is her video, and she walks you through this quilt, okay? So, in this page 60, which is Half Rail Fence, and I'm telling you, this looks like it's great for charity quilting. On page 65, 66, and 67, right? 65, 66, and 67. Yes. She gives you all different kinds of layouts that you can use this particular block in, okay? And again, I have my layer cake, 10-inch stacker, whatever you want to call it, my ruler, and I'm not a person who buys rulers like this. In this book, she shows you how to use a regular ruler if you don't have this. But I just wanted to do something different. This year has been a lot of sewing out of the box, doing things a little different than I normally would. But it's kind of hard to do different how you would normally do when you're really set in certain ways. Hi, Jessica. So I looked at her thing, and on 62, she shows you 62 and 63, how she assembles this quilt. And in her video, she'll show you that too. But you know me, I gotta be a speedy demon, so I'm gonna go a little rogue. Yes. Big surprise there. Leanna's going rogue. So we're going to go a little rogue. But before I do that, let me show you some things. So with everything going on, I seriously have been tired, okay? I'm not going to lie. I've been tired, and I have been listening to my body. But one of the greatest things about quilting is distraction. Quilting is one of those hobbies that they say is good for therapy, right? Quilting therapy, all that. And a good hobby, doesn't have to be quilting, can really be good for your mental health and you wanting to forget things for a little bit, right? And so even though I haven't been doing complex quilts and I'm a little tired and off, and when I woke up yesterday, the house was quiet. My boy wasn't home. Michelle was downstairs doing his thing. I came up here and I was cleaning. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try something out of a book, a different book, different than this. Where is the book? Because I want to show, here it is. So you know I'm going to be having lots of people, talking about lots of people today. So on Carmen's Quilt Shop, I had ordered the Panel Mashup book by GE Designs. But it's written by Gudra Erla, I don't even know if I'm saying her name right, and Doug Lico. And if you remember, Carmen, I purchased this, but Carmen had sent me a panel, a B panel. Sorry, I had to miss back. No problem. Hi, Hanan. So I'm going to show you something I worked on. And this, my honey's like, you made that just this morning? That's awfully fast. I was like, yeah, I needed to do a quick fix. You know, sometimes you need something that's a quick fix. So this came, I'm going to keep moving here. I got to keep moving so you can get the whole thing. Sorry. I'm going to keep moving here. Oh, I have this plugged in and then I never turned it on. Oh, it's not even turning on. All right, let's see. Well, we're not going to worry about it then. I don't know why it's not turning on. I just needed one of those quilts to be quick. And after I'm looking, I really wasn't even sure. You know, I am using my stash. So I don't have much stash. Hi, Evelyn. And I wasn't sure about this, but this fabric, we're here, this fabric has the identical colors in this panel. So this panel was gifted. Yes, this panel is very wonky. I tried everything. I tried the water. I tried the starch. I tried to shift and shimmy. I tried to like pat things down. I could not get this panel. It was so frustrating. That was the whole frustrating part of this quilt, to line up. Over here, it moves over in here, so there's more black there and less here. I tried to shimmy that over. And the same thing here. I couldn't, this here, I tried to go bloop and try to spray it straight. No matter what I did, I couldn't. So I said, oh well, not my problem. It's getting quilted up. I don't care. This morning is supposed to be about de-stressing. The number one thing that they say in all the doctors lately is, Leanna, you have to take a couple deep breaths and de-stress. Hi, Nikki. So hard, but you have to do that. So I said, we are not going to let this panel beat us and get us all out of sorts. So I had bought a half a yard when I bought the panel match. You would have seen it in the opening. This, it was like a border print that went with this. And I cut the bottom part of the border print and made the there's like 4 little tiny squares. This came from my stash. This came from my stash. This actually came from the Ginger Quilter. This was one of her mystery boxes that was sent to me. You know what? I never did end up opening it on live. And I realize that now, but I had to use some of the fabric. And I ordered that a while ago. She puts them on every so often. So I had that, and it was white with gold. So you can't go wrong. And then I found this in my black and white stash. And if you notice, it has like little curves, and it just mimics these curves. And I just loved how it mimicked. So that's how I picked that. But I didn't have enough for these corners. So the corners, the corners here are of the same border fabric. So the bottom of that border print, I used that here. The top of the border print, I use that here, which I kind of like because it really matches this. So it has all the same bees, and so now the bees are coming here. And when I put this all together, I looked at it and I was, I don't know if I like that or not. I'm not quite sure what I think of that. And then I was like, you know what? This looks like bees buzzing around. Doesn't that look like there's swarms of bees kind of buzzing around? I don't know. I felt like it. I felt like these are all bees buzzing around and these are all bees buzzing around. And I tried to fussy cut some of these, you know, flowers to try to get them in the corners. Let's see what you all have to say about this. Melanie's slow going, listening in. We have been, yeah, my honey's still sick. He's not terribly sick. He's just now, you know, like the remnants. I love that quilt so much. I almost ordered the pattern, but I could not justify it to honey. Yes. But I think the panel was $6. Not that you should order it, but I ordered it, but I'm just saying I had it and I was cleaning. I was cleaning my long arm because the lady came to drop off some those incubator quilts for me to quilt up. I didn't do it this weekend, but I'm trying to get my long arm cleaned off. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be a project. I don't know if it's going to be quick or not. So I used the book Panel Mash, and it is the inspiration. I'm going to say it there. The inspiration, because it is not the quilt. When I show it to you, you're going to be like, you didn't make that quilt. You made a version of that quilt, because you know me. So it's called Proud Mary. Oh, that's just fabric requirements. There's nothing here. So it's called Proud Mary. So they have a larger panel, and then you do all this lovely stuff, and you add all these borders, and then you get this, right? Well, I didn't want to do all that fussy work. I mean, it's gorgeous, but I just didn't want to do that. So I took inspiration, but I did use the measurements, and I wanted to see if the measurements worked, and it did. So this was the border, and it tells you step by step how to do the border. And you are strip piecing, and I'll tell you it was 1 of each strip piece, but the second section I used 2 strips to make this. Let's see. I love it. I love how the layout is pixelated like that fabric. Really, this is brilliant. It was still on Carmen's the other day. I'm still in my cart, but it's between. But yeah, no, you have to buy food. Don't buy this. I'm not here to influence you to buy this. I'm just talking about mental health and trying to de-stress and trying to forget some things. You know, sometimes just being out of life for a second. So this is what I did Sunday morning, and I woke up, I was in bed, I went on to Deb's live, and I was there with you all, waking up, and then I got up, and then this really went by so quick. These pieces are big, and so it really was 4 strip sets cut up, and then these 4 blocks. Now, how did I make this fit this panel versus this panel? Because in this book it uses a 35.5 by 42 inch panel. This panel, I believe, is one of those skinny panels, so it is a 23 maybe. Let's see. Yes, so it's about a 23 inch panel. So what I did was I went ahead. And they do have, at first, because I'm a person who likes to have everything symmetrical, but this is off symmetric, and this is off symmetric like this in the book too. So it was made to do that. So what I did was I went ahead and did this unit, which is the mountain unit I want to call. And I was like, well, that would really cut out a lot of this. So I was like, I wanted to maximize this. Though I think if I cut this out, maybe it would have actually laid better. But anyway, I didn't think about that. And I was like, well, I need actually 1 more of these units. So I added 1 more of these units. So once I made this like this, which is in the book like this, where you start off with this unit. You don't start off with this unit. I went ahead and did that, and then I measured what this was, and I knew what size to cut this on the sides, if that makes any sense. Then I went ahead and did the same, but I started the mountain peak, and I went with the mountain peak again, and then I had to add another one of these, and I added it to the end. So if you notice, and it is this way in the book, this is the two here, which they call B sets, I think, or something like that. And then this is the C sets right here. And so the C sets are here and here, and then there and there. I mean, I didn't have to do all this. I could have done this. All I would have had to do was take this skinny panel and keep adding borders till I got to this size panel, then proceed to do these, and then add more borders in order to get to the opening size. But I wasn't doing that yesterday. I love the asymmetry. That's why it's so intriguing. Oh, well, thank you. So, you know, and this is a good gifty size. This is a really good charity size. It is 50.5. That's the other thing. You know, I don't want to do a 72 by 88 quilt for a charity. I mean, I do it for, I don't even make them that big for Quilt of Valor. Quilt of Valor is 60 by 80. So, yeah. So, take the book, do it as you may, and then use it also as inspiration. And so that's what I did. Again, if you want to do something similar to this, you have this book, panel mashup. It is called, I think, Proud Mary. Is that what I just said? I don't even remember what I said. Yeah, Proud Mary on page 19. That's where I got the inspiration from. So there we go. I did that. And wait a moment. I don't even know if that might have been Saturday when I was with you. I don't know. I just sat down. I don't know now if it was Saturday afternoon. No, must have been Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon. Because I was in bed and then we woke up. Yeah, I didn't do anything yesterday. I had to think for a second because I don't know. This weekend went by so fast. I said to honey, it's as if it was Friday. I slept, I woke up, and now it's Monday. I don't even know. This is so stunning to be worthy of putting it in a quilt shop. I think you'd be able to sell it if you want. Well, I may be, because I actually need to start making some money to pay some things off. Attention Issues. What was that book again? Oh, it was called Panel Mashup. I ordered this on Carmen's because she still has it, I think, a 20% off of her store. So I ordered it. And then I ordered the matching panel fabric because that wasn't on sale. But the panel is excluded because that's on sale. So, yeah. And again, these things came from my stash. This here came from a Cotton Cuts mystery end cut bolt sale thingy. And this thing came from Joann's. Like years ago, but I used it all up. All the fabric is used up. I'm happy with it. And yeah, so I am toying with the idea of creating a Shopify. I keep telling you this, but it hasn't been ready because my daughter's been ill as well. And there's just a lot going on in my life right now that's overwhelming me. And this was the quilt I decided to do. And so yeah, so I'm going to start either selling tops or I don't know, maybe do, I don't know, a little bit of everything. So that's what I did. I just sat down and just decided I'm going to figure out this quilt math and just really lay into quilting and let all my worries go away for a little bit. So I did that. Now, something else. I don't even know if I'm even going to get to this Carolina Moore quilt today because it's 7:26 already and we had so many things go on. So when I was the last time I was at Festival in Houston, didn't go this year, I found this lady called Emily Taylor Designs, and it's called the Collage Quilter. I spoke to her. She was really great. She had a booth. It was so, so beautiful. And I bought this kit from her. It says it's $39. And it's called Elliot the Rooster. And it's a textile collage pattern for something called parchment pressing pattern. And she uses in the kit, you get Steamacine 2 Light. And you get your, she doesn't own this. I paid for this. She didn't give it to me. It was something I purchased. She gave me some panel thing that's like that. And you get this book, and then you get all kinds of fabric. I'm sure I showed it at some point. And here is like the complete quilt. All right. So now my honey, the night before, as we are looking, like laying in bed just talking, watching a Netflix series together without having any issues. It's called Bon Appetit, Her Majesty. It is a Korean, I don't know what it is. It's a Korean like limited series show. Again, we put it on audio of English with no subtitles because it was English. But it does give you subtitles because they must have ran out of characters to do the dubbing, which is hysterical. So like sometimes you're like listening to the whole movie in English and all of a sudden the English goes completely Korean and then you have to read all these subtitles. It is, I can't explain it. The movie is, at first we watched the first episode and we're like, I don't know, this is a little weird. And then I was like, but honey, apparently this thing I've read is like blowing up the world right now with like, I guess, ratings and stuff. So I was like, let's give it a try. Because I was thinking maybe this is too, I don't know, young like. I'm not sure. But we got into it. It's kind of funny. So if you know, there's a show called Iron Chef. The Cooking Network, years ago, there was something called Iron Chef. And being a chef, I love like that kind of stuff. So it's like Iron Chef meets a ninja movie, meets a Korean rom-com. I don't know. It's a mash of everything. And then there's all this music. And I was like, that sounds like Titanic, but with some like other kinds of lyrics. And that one sounds like, he's like, that sounds like that guy in the 90s who likes to sing. And then we couldn't remember what his name is. His name was Michael Bolton because we looked it up. It was like Michael Bolton background music. It's an adventure. It really is. It was a good, just kind of like, I don't even know why we're watching this, but it was entertaining. The food time, every time they were cooking, was really the most interesting thing because she's like a Michelin star chef, and so she comes from the past, and from the present, and she goes back in the past. Check out that movie if you want something interesting. It's interesting. So anyway, while we were watching that movie, he was asking me, he says, oh, you know, this Elliot the Rooster thing, you brought it to you twice to Puerto Rico. Did you leave it in Puerto Rico? Because it's kind of interesting. And I was like, huh? Name of that movie is called Bon Appetit, Your Majesty or Her Majesty or something like, or His Majesty. I don't know, but it's funny because when they start eating the food, it's fun to see them. It's like an Iron Chef kind of show, but not. It's all very interesting. I don't know how to explain this genre exactly, but they start eating the food and it's like they go on this acid trip and everything is going crazy and you're seeing pink elephants and then you're seeing food and vegetables starting flying over. And then they have this background music that may be Michael Bolton, but maybe Titanic, but maybe like, I don't know, Star Wars. Really interesting. Hi, Kay Buddy. Hi, Regina. So anyway, going back to this, I said, oh yeah, I brought it back with me. Now this thing has gone to Puerto Rico twice, and twice I brought it back. Not done. Okay. So I didn't think anything of it. So the next day we wake up, it's Sunday, I watch Deb. I leave the live. She had some blue screen issues. That's not why I left the live. He woke up and we wanted to eat. So I got talking and he's like, well, what do you want to do today? I was like, well, he's not feeling quite right yet. And I'm dealing with all this. And I was like, yeah, probably just stay home. I was like, you know, you mentioned this collage quilting thing. And I'm not sure, is this something that you think you might like to do? Because he's like a painter. He likes to paint and that kind of stuff. And he was like, you know what? I'd give it a go. I don't know how to how to finish it. And now yesterday it was all about, well, how do we finish this? Like he said we. I'm going to set him up in a sewing machine. Look at what we did. We spent all day on the couch. I have one of those tables that come up to you doing this with steam machine. So this is my rooster. Looks nothing like this rooster. Kind of does in a way, I guess. I went ahead and pulled, he goes, this is all you get to pick from. There was like 20 little tiny pieces of scraps she puts on there. And he's like, you have a whole room of scraps. He says, can I just pick anything? I was like, no, just, I have buckets of scraps. We'll go into there. This is a scrap project. He's like, but you have all this fabric. He wanted to open up my yardage, and cut out a little piece so that he can use. I said, absolutely not. That is a negative. He's like, are you kidding me? I was like, yeah, that is a negative. Hi, Nikki. I said, but I have more scrap bags we can take from there. He was a little, and then we're working. He's like, don't you have any batik scraps? The man said batik scraps. I didn't even know he was paying attention. I didn't know what he knew it was, a batik scrap. I was like, I don't know. He goes, I know you have batiks that I could cut into. I was like, let me find you a bag of batik scraps. I'm sure I have them somewhere. So, I found some batik scraps, and he goes, I don't even know where this project came from. I don't even know if this is a UFO project or a WIP project, but it's cut up. It's cut up. Just use it. And then when I was using it, I realized they were leftovers from before. So this is mine. And I was basing this off of, first we had a rooster called Pepe. It's kind of Pepe-ish. And then he's like, well, I'm going rogue. I go, well, yeah, that's fine. That's what I normally do in my channel. I go rogue all the time. And he says, I want my chicken to be a Puerto Rican chicken. A Puerto Rican chicken. What did he do here? I don't know. A Puerto Rican chicken. And I was like, okay. So here's his chicken. He had up a picture of a Puerto Rican rooster, and he made a little replica of the Puerto Rican rooster. So as you could see, he didn't fill in everything. I gave him the light box that I had gotten from Soft Squares. He used that because I didn't have a second light box. I think I'm going to buy a second light box now because he loves this. He loves this. He loves this. We did this all day yesterday. And he did, look, he cut all those little tiny pieces and layered everything on. This is all layered. He loved doing this. This is his first try of anything quilting. So he loved this, and I ran out of Steam-A-Seam, so we ordered Steam-A-Seam on Amazon. Loved it so much that we ordered a 5-pack of Steam-A-Seam. And he's like, oh, I can sketch out anything. He goes, well, where do I get the images? Because he goes, I don't want to spend $40 a kit. I was like, well, you can draw your own image. You can take a photograph of something and grayscale it and then go in there and trace it out. Oh, that was it. That's all I had to say. So yes, it's painting with fabric. That's right. And now we have a bin. I had some of these dollar store bins of all the like little pieces. So he's like, oh, look, we have a bin now. Leanna's honey did the second rooster. Yes, he did this rooster. Hi, Kathy and Linda. And I did this rooster here. So these are going to be pillows for our couch because he bought pillows. He's obsessed with the pillows now. The man's obsessed with pillows. He goes, I brought you 2 more pillows so that you could cover. Yes. So this are going to be our rooster pillows. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. Like, this is the one that came with mine, and I don't know. We haven't gotten to that, but I am going to, being that he's kind of been real interested on how you quilt this, I'm going to see if he wants to try to quilt his own. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but this is what we did yesterday. Again, this is Honey's rooster based on a Puerto Rican rooster that he saw and had to make a picture of. I don't know. So I don't know what else we're going to make, but he's like, when is that Steam-A-Seam coming in? I'm like, it's not coming in until March 6th, honey. And he goes, okay. So I guess that's what we're going to be doing together. It's a good hobby that we could do together. I've been trying to get him into quilting forever. I've tried all different things, but he saw that, and that was very interesting to him. And now he's really liked it. So we'll see. All right, we're going to move down, and I'm going to attempt. I said I'm not going to cut anymore on the live, but we're going to cut on the live. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the ruler. So I linked below Carolina Moore's tutorial, because in there, she shows you how to make this using all what you need to know. I just can't, because it's not mine. I bet he caught the bug. Yeah, well, we'll see. He's not feeling too hot, so this was a good thing. I'm still not. I mean, I'm getting there. All right, so this is Old School by J. Weffer Frisch. This is something that Krampus gave me. So this Carolina Moore book uses the entire layer cake. When you watch her tutorial, she shows you exactly how to cut this. But Leanna is going rogue. So, because Leanna is going rogue, I'm going to be cutting this differently. I'm going to use, now it's like, well, why did I buy this if I'm going rogue? Because now she shows you how to use this. I still can use that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a stack here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 4. And we're going to cut this whole thing. So I am going rogue myself. And I want to double check that this is the measurement this is. Yes, it is. Okay. So when you put this on here, like she said, every layer cake is different. And I can't cut anything off. You know, this layer cake looks like it's just shy of 10 inches, believe it or not. Go figure, especially on this side. So we're going to go all the way to the peaked edges. I can't believe it's March already. I should be doing some kind of like green shamrock stuff, but I just don't feel like it. All right. Again, these are not the cutting instructions in the book. These are not the cutting instructions you're going to see her give you. So while we're making this quilt, I am going to strip set, okay, piecing. She has you cut everything out individually. See, it's just shy of this measurement that I can't say, so I'm not going to say it. I caught myself. We're just going to have to fudge it. It's interesting, though. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave this all in this because we are going to keep this kind of together a little. Here we are. So again, these are not the sizes she has you cut or how she has you construct the quilt. But I find that if I do it this way, I can cut out a couple of steps. Now you do have to cut this size and do something else with it, but you'll see. Go to her tutorial. It's good to see how two different people make the same quilt, you know? It's like when you cook. Everybody has a different way of cooking, different methods of things. And then, let's see. Yep, just shy. I don't know how they decide the layer cake situation. So I'm just going to put these back. And then I'm just going to keep continuing, and you're going to cut your whole layer cake up. So I am one that does not have a ton of layer cakes. I got some on the advent box for both Krampus and soft squares. So that gives me a little bit of wiggle room to use layer cakes. Though I have a whole bucket of self-cut layer cakes, meaning that when I had leftovers, there was the size of a layer cake. And I have a whole bucket, and I think something like this project, any of this book, would be great for charity because I could take, without having a layer cake, let's say I don't have a layer cake, just use my 10-inch squares that I cut myself. I can't believe, I know. Let's see. So she had a quilt in there that was a heart quilt that would have been great for Valentine's Day. I may still make it because hearts are for any time, really. And Honey, he is on the mend, you know, like he's gone food shopping and whatnot, but he's just not going back to work because he just doesn't have the strength, put it that way. And he did go thrifting, and he bought me a whole thing of thrifted fabric, a bundle. He found one bundle of fabric, and I meant to bring it up to show you. It's cute. It's got some panels in it and some really neat stuff. Everything in that bundle was like quilters, you know, like all the brands were like quilting brands. None of it was like from Joann's or Michael's or Walmart. Everything was from an actual brand, which was kind of interesting. At least I didn't see anything. Oh, you know what? There was 2 fat quarters that were Mario, like Nintendo Mario, Super Mario Brothers. I don't know where those came from. Like if that was from a quilting brand, that may have been something from Walmart actually. But maybe not. I don't know. I didn't see it real well. I'll have to bring it up and then show you tomorrow. There was some interesting stuff. He said there was 2 other bundles, but the other 2 bundles were like different fabrics. He didn't think they were like quilting fabrics. But he says I could pick them up next time. I mean, they were only $2 a bundle. So yes, $2 a bundle. And this bundle had all kinds of panels and stuff in it. I just cut my own layer cakes and starched them this morning. I was planning on doing some kind of QOV with them. I love this particular pattern, so I might do this one. Yes. Yeah, sometimes you just need a quick quilt just to kind of, like, I don't know. Like that was a quick finish, that other quilt I did. This looks like one too. I mean, I have all my stuff pulled out to continue. I haven't tackled the bags yet, those bag kits I have, and I was going to do that, but my head space isn't there. And I want instant gratification. That's what these are, instant gratification quilts. And again, go to her tutorial. I have it linked below. She will show you how she did the quilt. And I'm cutting mine up. I'm hoping that this will work. I'm pretty confident what I'm going to do is going to work, because you do have to cut. You do have to cut these and pair them off. But instead of cutting, and so these she has you cut and pair them off, and then these she has you cut them and you get 4 pieces, and then you mix the 4 pieces. Well, I feel like if you pair everything off, you put 42 sets aside of the 2 pairs, and then you cut these strip sets into 4, you're gonna be done, right? Your quilt is gonna, no, I'm sorry, you'd cut them into 2. You'd cut them into 2, not 4. Your strip quilt will get done faster. Not that fast, it means better. It's just, I don't know. It's just how I do things. It's how my brain works. My brain just works that way. All right. So this is interesting fabric. This here looks like some kind of gymnast of some sort from way back in the day. I'm not even sure what she's doing. Well, it kind of is nice having this ruler just because I don't have to think about it. I go right to that spot. And it's done. Palette cleansers. I like that. Hi, Deb. palette cleansers. Yes, it could be palette cleansers. Good, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. These are some really neat text. Look at this big cursive, something you don't even see in schools hardly anymore. Cursive is, I think, a thing of the past. I think they still may teach the kids this. I don't really know. Maybe they teach them when they're older, and I'm in a primary school. I mean, everything now is done on a computer. So some of these kids' writing is really atrocious. I mean, we spent hours writing. I don't know about you, but Catholic school, those nuns were no joke when it came to writing. You needed to write. You needed to write. Look at this. Isn't that cool? You needed to write in cursive. And you had to slant your page a certain way. Though I hear the whole slanting thing is like a mostly a private school thing, because when people see me write, they go, oh, you must have gone to Catholic school. It's funny, people could tell when you're writing. All right, so we're almost there. So then what I'm going to do is, after I get this all cut up, I'm just going to sew 2 pairs together. Like I said, I'm just going to sew 2 pairs together. Now this is all writing. It says, oh, it's interesting. It says tilde, Macron, breve, cedilla, quotation marks in French. Then it says school board, schoolman, schooling, a schoolhouse. All the writing has to do with school. Apostrophe, hyphen. I'm just looking at all the words. School room, school girl, school boy. This is funny. And then this says our school library due date. So this has library due dates. Like it says January 5th, 54. So 53, 54, 55, 56, 51, 49, 1950. So you have dates on here from the late 40s to the 50s on this. And there we are. That was my last piece. We did pretty good. All right, so now I have my pieces, except for this. I didn't. There we are. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to move the whites, the whole stack of white down here. And then I am going to move to the next color. And then to the next color. I don't know, that's how I'm figuring it out. You know, you can always keep moving things around, right? This is like a whole shuffle quilt kind of situation, because we're going to shuffle this a bunch of times before we get the block. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these by pair and these by pair. And because they're going to be different pairs, hopefully, right? Yeah, they're going to be different pairs. And then from there, we're just going to cut what we need. Good morning. Who else just came in? Did anybody else come in? Nope. Okay. Well, here we go. I'm going to move the camera. And we're just going to chain sew these all in pairs. I'm gonna move this over. So we had 42 pieces, right? And now, there we go. I'm wondering, could I just stack these on top of these? Probably can. If I have this here. Hi, Aisha. Good morning. Those remind me of old math flashcards. Yeah, they kind of are. I think I could just, honestly, place this right onto here. Bloop, and this right onto here. And then I have my stack to sew. And so we're just going to sew all these through. And then we're going to cut them down to size. Now, when you go over to see her tutorial, she has everything cut down to size for you already. So when you sew, you're just sewing this all together. There we go. And so, there, I'm going to sew, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sew just a couple here. Let me turn over this. And then we're going to put one block together so you can see the one block. Ooh, I love mindless sewing. This is why, yes, that's how I felt when I did that panel quilt. It was a lot of just like mindless sewing. This was just really great. And I'm going through this to just do one, so try to get together one block for you. All right, I think I need, yeah. So if you do 1, 2, 3, let's go one more. What colors do I have there? I guess it doesn't really matter. Here we go. Let's go with these two. Now you see this is just a little short here, so what I do is I line it up all the way here, and this, where it's smaller here, it doesn't matter because it's going to be caught in the seam. So I'm just going to put my foot to the outer part, which is not short. And let me show you that. And then your quilt will still line up exactly how you want it to line up. All right, I'm going to put these back together. And I just took 4, which is like 2-layer cake bit. Okay, now, I don't think she has how to press this, so we're just going to go with it. Thank you, Aisha, for the, yes, this So Magic Morning. It says I got some kind of rubies or something. All right, so now I'm going to press. I'm just going to press to the dark. I don't know if this is going to make a difference. I guess we're going to soon find out. Okay, or I'm just pressing however I want because some of these are darker than others. I did my best to try to get all different. So let's see, here we have that. And this, and this, and this. So now I'm going to go back over and we're going to cut again. So my guess is after you do, I'm going to move the camera, after you do all that putting together, right? And I think I could use this same thing. Here we go. Where you're going to find, I want this on the side like this. So this is going to be on the side here. And I am going to say that I want those together. I'm just going to stack these together. There we go. And now, how did she do this? So I am going to find like this here, this line here, right here. And I'm going to cut off that little bit of stuff. And I'm going to cut them in the sections that originally I was supposed to cut them. Again, you could just cut everything and mindless sew everything. You absolutely can do that. And this is what's left over. Okay. So now I'm going to sew these two together. And then this comes here together. And this also is cut down. She gives you the size. Let's see if I can get it over here. Here it is. So I'm going to put this line on here with this there. Let me see. Yes. I have this little piece. So at the beginning, if you cut everything to her sizes that is in her tutorial, this is, you would still have these. And now I would sew this to here and then this to here. Let me see, then make sure that's how she has it. Yes, that is exactly how she has it. So this is the block. I'm going to move this down right there. And see, if I wanted to, I could cut this one down and then again do something like this, right, which is a little different over here. Let's see where I could get it in the frame. Here we go. Let's move that. So I could do something like that and then cut this down and do that. And these would be my two different blocks. So I'm going to get blocks like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and then you put them on the design wall. There is so many different ways she has in this book to set up this quilt. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She has 7 different ways that you could set it up in this book. But that was it. And this, I think, is a great, like, I could just sew right through this mindless sewing and it'll be all shuffled up and great. And I'm just not going to have to worry about if things touch other fabric. That's when all that just goes right outside. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sew all these pairs up. I'm going to put 42 of these aside, cut them down to the size that I need, and then cut up the rest into these 2 pieces, and then just sew these up into blocks of 4 and just go from there. And that is what I'm going to be working on this week, because it's 8 o'clock. I've got to go and take care of getting ready for work. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on this week. I am hoping to upload. I really am. I was hoping to do it yesterday. I just couldn't. The first block of this, it's all cut out for the showstopper. And the first block is called the disco block. What did I do with it? I cut it all out and now I don't even know what I did with it. Let's see if it's over here. Nope, is it in this box? No. Okay, well, I will find what I did with it. I have it somewhere. Oh, maybe it's in here. No, this is the other. Okay, well, I'll have to find what I did with it. I don't even know what I did with it. Oh, one other thing I have to show you is this. This is all complete. This is the crummy quilt. It is all complete. So I did love the way this came out on point. And there we are. Okay, now that's it. I did it all. Hi, Tina. So with that said, everyone have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Pass it forward. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow morning, God willing. Take care. Bye-bye.